United States, and they could be told that they are HIV positive and have little time to live because of the location in which they were tested in. So it's not even, I mean, there's so many different aspects to this, it's not even funny. And then on top of that, the second you're tested, they tell you, well, this could be a false positive or a false negative. So they put you through more testing, and the chances are your test might not differ, especially if you take it right away. And then for the rest of your life, you are labeled. You have a tattoo on your forehead that you are HIV positive, and for the rest of your life, you have to deal with the medical establishment denying you health care. I've had many good friends that have had this problem. They say, well, I'm sorry, if you don't receive treatment for your HIV, we'll turn down your health care for your other issues, for your cancer, for whatever you may actually have. And this is the sickness. I mean, this is as crazy as it gets. So Carrie Stokely, okay, who just passed away, who's a true hero in my opinion, she had a similar story to that little girl that I told you about. She was told after the birth of her second child that she was HIV positive. She went on the medicine. She realized after her health drastically was declining that it was a fraud. She got off the medicine. Her health dramatically recuperated. She was doing well. She came on my radio show a couple years ago. She had another health problem with her colon or something else. Okay, I don't remember the details exactly, but she was sick in other ways. And they denied her treatment because of the HIV label that's based on dogma, that's based on a lie.
So hold it, because brother, this is I'm bouncing off the wall with this, because this hitting in so many areas. They have a new test that they'll be putting in airports soon. I don't know if you heard about it. And with this test, if you have any type of medical issues, or if you are in a database based on them scanning you, they can deny you entry into other countries based on you being a health risk to another country. So if you are diagnosed, if you go through the system and get diagnosed, they can put you in a database and say, well, it's not our fault. Other countries are not willing to take you as a risk into their country, even to visit, because you might spread HIV or disease. And by default, you won't be able to travel into other countries. You heard about that?
You know, hold up. Before that, you know, in Jamaica, right? In Jamaica, if you are diagnosed with HIV, right, you cannot get a U.S. visa. Did you know that?
Oh my goodness! Did you know that, Mr. Tuscan?
I did not. I find that very interesting. And again, the chances are the reason why the numbers in Jamaica and Manchester are heavier is because of what I was telling you. In addition to that, you'll notice, I'm sure in your area that this is the case, and they do this here in the United States as well, that they offer free testing everywhere you look. And there's all this propaganda to get you tested. Free testing at this place provided by this health agency. They have ad campaigns. And here in the States, where they provide the free testing, chances are it's not only an area where there are minorities, but it's a poor area to begin with. So not only does this go after minorities, it also goes after the poor.
Well, listen, I see this straight out there in Jamaica with this bus driving around testing people. You understand me? I had a very close friend recently that had some family in the States that were trying to get him to come to the States to live. That, you know, that was trying to file for him, and the application was denied because his case came out. It was HIV positive. I mean, I know a lot of people, even here in Manchester, that come to me telling me that, well, listen, I'm HIV positive. I'm this, you know, what can I do? The area that I'm in Manchester has the largest case of HIV throughout the entire UK. HIV and prostate cancer is the highest killer, so to speak, in this area that we are. So this is a topic that's very dear to me. You understand me?
Hey, Gocc, I want to say this, and I want you to come back in with this, because as far as I can see, and you might agree with me here, Mr. Tuscan, I don't know, but it seems like they're able to backdoor into a new way of Jim Crow law. And like they can actually classify you and put you in a position of lower classification and impede your travel and treat you like a second-class citizen based on a diagnosis. And you can't travel. You don't have the same access as other people. So it's really Jim Crow using the medical field. So, I mean, it's amazing how we're regressing when medicine is supposed to be technology to help us progress. But let me ask you this, because real quick. You said earlier, Mr. Tuscan, that there's certain groups. What I want to ask you straight out, why do I'm going straight. Do you think there's a target on minorities with this? Why are they targeting minorities with this thing here? Because I know beyond any shadow of a doubt they're targeting, because the people in Africa have been dying of things. We've seen the commercials coming up of, can you send your money to help a child, same amount as a cup of coffee, you can feed a child. So people have been dying in Africa forever, but now they just spin their diseases to the AIDS pandemic. They just shifted the people who are dying with a new diagnosis. So what I'm asking you is, why? Why are they targeting black people and minorities with this diagnosis? Even though I have my understanding of why it's so, and it's actually spiritual, I don't want to go in there, but I want to ask you, why do you think it's so?
I see it as a couple of different reasons. I see them as an easy target because these people are poor. They don't have the same access to the internet like you and I do, and it makes sense to them. You know, they're told from a guy from the West in a fancy lab coat that, all your problems are because of this boogeyman, HIV, and people unfortunately believe it because they need something to point at. They need something to hold on to. I don't know why they would go after minorities over, other races. I kind of see it as something that in a sense transcends race, but at the same time it is clear that it does not. I see it more as a poor versus the elite and that kind of thing, but I don't know. I don't know what the reason is for that.
I tend to agree with you, but the only issue I have is that the eugenics program started well before there was any such thing as an HIV diagnosis with Sanger and the Gates family, who was even before the internet. The eugenics program was around the turn of the 20th century, in which they were looking to get into the neighborhoods, empower strong, black, powerful leaders that would pipe our people into their own destruction, black people. So even before that, there was a designation of the population of poor people. Of course, there's other races that'll get caught, within the alley there. But all in all, the percentages they're going after is predominantly, like I'm looking at how they, in the Daily News of Philadelphia, there's been a campaign for HIV testing within your own home, portable HIV testing where you can buy or pick up any place. It's like they're pushing this thing because if you get the diagnosis, they can use that against you in society to hold you back, to keep you down, to destroy you, and to depopulate you. It's a well-orchestrated plan.
Let me ask a question, all right?
All right.
And this is to the guest. Okay, depopulation, all right? Aimed at the minority, correct?
It's in this case minorities are more affected. I see it. It's not just minorities.
Let me ask you, who is the they that are doing this?
Who is the they? Well, that's a good question, and that is comprised of multiple levels, multiple elements of compartmentalization. It's an octopus. It's a pyramid. and the they can consist of anyone from specifically like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, like was just mentioned, or some of the lower level people that are just repeating what they've been told because they don't actually have the information that I'm providing, or they don't think for themselves. So that question is probably one of the more profound questions that doesn't have a direct answer. But all I can say is that there is an element of evil in our world today.
Okay, cool. All right, we got brother Lex with a question. I want to bring him in real quick to hear what his question and comment is. Could Brother Azariah bring him in for me, please, real quick? Brother Lexwell. Hold on, let me just try and...
Shalom.
Shalom.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you clearly, brother. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good. How you doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Question, comment?
You know what? I got a question, and a comment. You know,
Okay,
this is kind of interesting, you know, because for a while, Ricard's been pushing the issue about the HIV, and this is great to hear. You know, another point of view with another, you know, with a scientific point, you know, because, you know, they're not testing for HIV. They are testing for antibodies, you know, and you could just go in with the flu. So, Bob, it's Bob, right?
Yeah, Bob Tuscan.
Hi, how you doing? My name's Lexwell.
Good.
What do you? I have a catch-22 question. Okay, what do you think is the goal?
With the diagnosis of HIV and the whole agenda?
Yes, the drugs, the chemotherapy, the stripping down of the DNA. What do you think is the complete goal?
Well, I mean, obviously money plays a role in everything that we look at. You know, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it can't be money. These are the corporations that we buy all our goods from. Like if you really do if you do 10 minutes of research, you find out that the CFRs, the Hollywood actors, the corporations of Pepsi and Coke combined, and all these other heads of other corporations, and all these corporations own other corporations. They're all linked in a secret monopoly because there's laws against monopolies, but it's really just a monopoly. You know?
Yeah, and we can look at the banking system on the top of as you know, a whole, and look at the top of the pyramid and how this is all just trickled down. So yeah, they print the money out of thin air,
right.
And you have to think that on a higher level, even if it is money for some people, because some people are you know, interested in the low level amount of money. You know, I believe that Dr. Robert Gallo is guilty of that. He needed funding to continue his research, and this is something that he found was a great paycheck.
But that's minute greed versus his research. I mean, what is his real research? His real research is what? Scrubbing the human DNA and turning it into something else.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it seems like there is a benevolent agenda at hand here, and what's exactly the rationale behind it? I think it may have to do with what our film is discussing, and that is a plot for depopulation, a plot for eugenics.
I mentioned it was a catch-22 question because I started coming across this guy that started making a little bit of sense to me. There's a guy on YouTube called Rob Skiba, and he starts going over these videos about his opinion of the Bible, and he starts talking about the days of Jared versus the days of Noah. Now, he says, in the days of Jared, Nephilim walked the earth, okay? Now, he says, in the days of Noah, we go to the book of Jashir, and they were taking the DNA from the birds and the cows and the fish and combining them to create judges and rulers over man. I'm just trying to look at what the end game for this would be, you know, because.
Well, we already have discussed the end game on many levels. It's just that no one really wants to deal with the end game because it's gory. No one really wants to accept the truth because it leads to what everyone knows. You understand?